Thank you. One more time.
For the Meadows Strings Ensemble. All right, well, welcome. It's so great to have families on campus again. So it's great to see you guys. This is our second academic event of today. We had a middle school event that started at 9 o'clock. And while it's been really amazing to have students on campus all year, it is, you don't know that you miss families until you miss them. So it's really great to see all of you here. Thank you for being here and thank you for supporting your children. Before I really get started here, I would like to just take a moment to thank a few people who have made this event possible. We didn't know until the very last minute that we were going to be able to hold this event. We've been wrangling with the public health authorities on different items, different events, including graduation next week. So we're really thrilled to be here. First of all, thank you to Tim Alderetti and Kelly Chabot for leading the organization of these events. Also for help from Abby Hilson, who has been doing some work backstage. She did some editing and she is a real pillar of this process. And then finally, Dana Larson in the upper school and Mr. Brian Siegel in the middle school for providing the kind of creative leadership we needed to make sure that we could put these events on. So please join me in thanking them. And so as I was thinking about this event and how I'd like to introduce it, I was reminded of an experience that I had a number of years ago when I was in graduate school. And I'll get to that in a second, but it's easy for us to assume, and for students to assume, that the student who gets an award, who gets an academic award, is always going to be the student who simply gets the most points. The student who gets the highest grade in the class, or the student who accumulates the best grade point average in a given section. And I want you to know that that is not always the case. Sometimes it is. That's not always the case. And it's important for us to note that this celebration, honoring students, is not about necessarily simply getting good grades, right? That's important, and it's one measurement of what we do at an academic institution. But there are other things that go into this process. And like I said, this reminds me of an experience that I had 16 or 17 years ago when I was a student at the University of Oregon. Like many graduate programs, I don't know about your graduate programs, but our English department was filled with a bunch of people who were pretty confident in their own intellects and like to celebrate themselves and each other. And that happens, you know, in academic institutions. But there was a term that was thrown around pretty loosely by all of us, or a lot of us anyway. And the term was brilliant. We would say, wow, that's a brilliant argument, or that person is so brilliant, or what a brilliant essay, or What a brilliant idea. And I think that one of my professors got tired of hearing this. Her name was Dr. Karen Ford. She's still a professor at the University of Oregon. And she said, what you guys are describing is not brilliance, it's brightness. Yeah, it's bright. You're bright. And so we were sort of taken aback because we were pretty confident in our ability to be brilliant, right? All of us are pursuing master's degrees and doctorates. And she said something that has always really stuck with me because I've worked at schools like the Meadows ever since, schools where you have lots and lots of really bright students, students that are a joy to teach because they bring to the classroom their brightness. And they do very well in our classes. Bright students do very well in our classes. But what Dr. Ford was saying is that there's a difference between brightness and brilliance. And what she said in that moment was that brilliance is a light that shines onto others. Brightness is a light in and of itself. But a truly brilliant student, a truly brilliant mind, is one that shines light on the people around them. Brilliant students come to class with their ideas, with their energy, and they make everyone around them better. Truly brilliant students shock with how intelligent they are and how intelligent they make others. And those are the students that make it so fun to come to school every day. Those are the students that make teaching really easy. Those students are you. So I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for your brilliance, your hard work, your determination, but more than anything else, I want to thank you for coming to school every day and making the educational project a little brighter for everyone else. So, without further ado, we will move on to the main part of our program, and it's my pleasure to introduce our MC for this morning, Mr. Gary Kempfer.
Let's get rid of that for a little while. Welcome, and thank you for being here. This is a great honor to also be able to express our privilege to parents and to the students who have gone the extra mile. And our academic awards ceremony is that recognition of those students. So without further ado, we'll get started. I've been asked to make one quick announcement. For the students who come up on stage, if you would please come around to this side over here, and the awards will be given out, and then we'll take pictures over there and exit on that other side over there. So, and based on our students, I think we can follow that little rule there that should work out real well. So we're going to start quickly with visual and performing arts, film studies, speech and debate, and Miss Carol Kelly to the stage, please. Miss Callie for photography 1, her winners, David Minson. Cole Kennedy. And Mia Melendez Alarcon. And we have one more for photography 2. That would be Riley Bush. Mr. David Kanchar could not be here tonight. Presenting the award for Mr. Kanchar and Ms. Jenny Tolan for AP Music Theory, and our winner, Heffen Minnie Zhang. Ms. Denitza Larson. For Elite String Ensemble, Johan Ocampo. Let's bring to the stage Ms. Charisse Welsing. Presentation of the award for Studio Art 1 to Tess Weckerly Healy. Mr. Tim Burris. Mr. Burris will be presenting the award first for Acting 1. The winner, Peyton Howard Ninkovich. And for Film Studies, Oscar winners, Ella Maurice. Mr. Malcolm Gordon. Mr. Gordon will be presenting the award for Honors Introduction to Speech and Debate, and our winner is Meher Dhaliwal. Mr. Tim Aldretti. Mr. Aldretti's first award for Honors Introduction to Speech and Debate goes to Brinley Belding. The second award for Honors Advanced Lincoln Douglas Debate to Amy Choi. Our second group is Mathematics and Computer Science. Our first teacher, Ms. Cassidy Payne. We have five awards for Honors Geometry. Jake Bavacqua. Yasemin Goravanchi. Ryan Howard. Aaron Lee. And Cole Verderame. Our next presenter, Mr. Rodney Vollen. Mr. Vollen's first award goes to Honors Algebra 1, Mr. Gage Renetti. For Honors Algebra 2, Trigonometry, Amy Choi. L. Beckor. And Brandon Lee. Our next presenter, Mr. Mohammed Mehdi. First presentation for Honors Algebra 2 to Iris Kong. Honors Pre-Calculus BC, Lawrence Zhang. And our last presenter, Mr. Mark Misek. For Honors Algebra 2, Tess Weckerly Healy. And for Honors Introduction to Drones and Coding, Zan Thomas. Our next group is world languages. Our first presenter, Mr. Stéphane Clement. Oops. Was that planned? Honors Spanish 1, Jacob Helderman. The award for Spanish Pre-AP, 2 awards, Lindsay Thomas. And Cole Verderame. Mr. Clement also has an award for Honors French 3, and that goes to Symphony Wang. Our next presenter, Dr. Aned Muniz Gracia. For Honors Spanish 2, 2 awards, Joseph Victorio. And Ella Maurice. She also has an award for Honors Spanish 3, and that goes to L. Becker. And 1 award for Honors Spanish 4 to Leighton Liu. You have to say something in Spanish before you get it. Our next presenter, Ms. Maria Ramirez Lopez. She has 3 awards for honors or for AP, Spanish language. The first award to Marla Del Rio. The second to Ashley Hofflander. And the third award to Chloe Gasworth. Our next presenter, Dr. Christian Lorenzo. First award for Honors Latin 1 to India Sky Vincent Philpott. And for Honors Latin 2, Heffen Minnie Zhang. Now, Dr. Garvey. Dr. Tom Garvey There we go. For honors Latin 3, Lawrence Zong. Our final presentation from Mrs. Virginia Stamanis, presenting the awards for Mrs. Stamanis' class, Senor Clement. For honors French 1, Mia Melendez Alarcon. For honors French 2, Cheyenne Zadie. Our next group is English Literature and Composition. Our first presenter, Ms. Kelly Chabot. For Introduction to Literature and Composition, we have 5 winners. Heffen Mini Zhang is number 1. Our second winner, Benjamin Garber. Miriam Wahid. Gia Orsini. And finally, Yasemin Gorobanchi. That's just not right. Congratulations to those winners. Mr. Zachary Vance. For honors American Literature and Composition, also 5, Amy Choi. Cheyenne Zadie. Joseph Victoria. Chloe Gasworth. And Shazare Akbar. And our next group, Natural and Physical Sciences. Our first presenter, Mr. Matt Schaefer. Mr. Schaefer has 4 awards for honors biology. Sophia Forrest Turner. Paula Lagisima. Lian Shirley Chang. And David Minson. Our next presenter, Ms. Brianna Cotter. For Honors Biology Pre-AP, Robert Barcel. And Cole Verderame. For AP Biology, Ellen Sun. Miss Elise Brownridge. Ms. Brownridge has 4 awards for Honors Chemistry. Cheyenne Zadie. Ellen Sun. We'll let you cheat on that one. Amy Choi. And Adora Isianolue. Bring to the stage Miss Dawn Trujillo. For Honors Chemistry, Sam Lee. And Manoj Chopra. Our next group, close to my heart, History and Social Sciences. Our first presenter, Mr. Jason Zimring. Mr. Zimring has Honors World History, 5 awards. Ella Maurice. Benjamin Vinokur. Aaron Lee. Anya Shaw. And Robert Barcel. I get to be next. For AP US History, I'm going to bring all 3 of mine up quickly here. Brinley Belding, Chloe Gasworth, and Manoj Chopra. Our next presenter, Mr. Jeremiah Rosenfeld. Two awards for Honors U.S. History, Jake Bavakwa and Joseph Victorio. Mr. Rosenfeld has an award for Honors Economics 1. That goes to Zach Badane. And Honors Economics 2 to Symphony Wang. Our final presentation from Mr. Gary Hanley, and presenting the awards for Mr. Hanley is Dr. Slater. For Honors Cultural Anthropology, Jake Bavakwa. For Honors Cultural Anthropology 2, Shayan Zaidi. And for Honors Politics of Terrorism, Shazra Akbar. And now I'd like to bring to the stage Ms. Dana Larson for the presentation of our Students of the Year.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you again for joining us. All of you are excellent students and leaders in the classroom, and you make it a joy for us to come here every day and do what we love to do. The Student of the Year is a very special thing, a very rare thing. So if you could draw your attention to the program at the bottom left, the explanation of what it means to be Student of the Year. And essentially, the Student of the Year who is chosen by the teachers that teach all of the freshmen and all of the sophomores, they get together and they labor over this because there is excellence all over these classes. But the Student of the Year, the assumption is that that student would be earning this, the award, for every class that they're in. But I'd like to now introduce these students because we preclude them from doing that because this is the special honor that they are given today. So for Freshman Student of the Year, Mrs. Tolan said that if she could compose movie music in honor of this student, it would sound something like the soundtrack to an amazing superhero movie, full of melodic lines, intense brass, and heavy percussion. So as I read the following comments by some of his teachers and faculty advisors, please play this kind of music in your minds. The Freshman Student of the Year is described as a Renaissance man by many of his teachers. According to Ms. Chabot, he not only meets standards, but rises above them, while also inserting his wit and personality seamlessly into everything he does. He is the heart of every room he enters, the moral compass, the shoulder to lean on, and a wealth of knowledge. According to Mr. Zimring, this student can be summed up in a very simple statement. He loves this community, and he loves to have fun. Good students complete their work. Great students engage in their classes. Truly amazing students get their fellow students engaged in classes as well. And this young man is truly an amazing student. As a member of the Meadows varsity quiz team, this student has been exemplary. Not only did he show up religiously, giving time on his weekends for practice, but he also brought an incredible cultural literacy to the table, answering questions as diverse as geological time and piano sonatas. But these attributes are not his most significant. He is one of the nicest human beings you will ever know. When you put together an amazing brain, an earnest heart, and a person who is truly generous of spirit, you get this young man. When Mrs. Payne attempted to describe this student, it was as if she was faced with an incredibly difficult math problem. She said, "I have so many thoughts, but I have no idea where to start. I could talk about his passion for learning and discovery and how it radiates to those around him. Or I could talk about how his math jokes, and how he has renamed the Pythagorean theorem as Poppin theorem." Hey, she said, "But don't ask. She won't explain that one." But all I can really say is that he is not only a great student, he's also an amazing person. He is the student you know will challenge other students, but also the teacher in the classroom. He's a student who will ask the questions why and how, just for the knowledge. He is the student who will make those around him better and who will make you a better teacher. And according to Mrs. Cotter, this student is a true scholar. He has an unquenching curiosity for knowledge. He is a questioner and critical thinker. But she says that one of her favorite traits about him is his wit and humor. And he uses these traits to have the profound ability to rally his peers. She recalled one lesson that their class pivoted into an in-depth discussion about the current concept they were learning. She had prepared questions for students to consider on their own that evening. However, the class discussion ended up answering all of her prepared questions. At that moment, she told the students what had occurred and ripped up their homework handout right in front of them. Our freshman student of the year immediately raised his hand and stated, "Class, I have to tell you something. Instructor Cotter just realized that had she given us those questions for homework, she would be giving us busy work because we already discussed them." The students erupted in laughter and clapped as they realized what he said was true. It is these small moments that help transform a classroom into a community. This student can reflect on a situation during the moment, and because of this, his peers love and respect him. He is a born leader. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating and honoring the Freshman Student of the Year, Rocco Santo Pietro. And now for our Sophomore Student of the Year. According to AP US History teacher Gary Kemper, whom you know, our Sophomore Student of the Year is motivated and enthusiastic. She exudes confidence, and if she didn't know something, she was willing to learn it. He describes her through these key concepts. Engagement. She is an active learner. She asks questions and initiates discussions in a way that raises the bar for others. Preparedness. She always comes to class with her assignments completed, and she is ready to learn. The ability to overcome setbacks. Essays that were not up to her usual standards and did not receive the grade she was used to getting became a discussion on how to improve. She determined what was being looked for, and the next time her paper was spot on. Going above and beyond. She does not just meet the average requirements of the class, she does that and then adds more to make her work stand out. When Dr. Muniz Gracia first encountered our Sophomore Student of the Year, she believed her to be shy, but it quickly became evident that she was on top of everything that was being said and done in the classroom. Slowly and eventually, she opened up and started offering glimpses about who she is. For example, she is lucky to have met her great-grandmother, who was born in Puerto Rico, and as of last fall was 101 years of age and living in Florida. She started sharing bits of her heritage, such as her affinity for arroz con pollo. But despite her heritage, which includes European as well as Puerto Rican and other influences, she does not have the advantage of growing up in a bilingual household. However, she is quickly making up for that through hard work and is impressively inching towards becoming bilingual, despite only being in her second year of Spanish. AP biology teacher, Mrs. Cotter, explains that this student always brings enthusiasm, positivity, curiosity, and a love of learning to the classroom. For example, throughout the year, she would eagerly run into the classroom and share something from her personal life connected to the anatomy and physiology she was figuring out in class. She thinks deeply about concepts and is always yearning to learn more. Her thought-provoking questions and commentary contribute to maintaining high-level discourse in the classroom, and she is a joy to teach. Mr. Vance, being a true English teacher, begins his description of this student by defining a word. This is also rather long, so bear with me. He's an English teacher. It is also important to note here that Mr. Vance is also left-handed. He states the word right is used to mean correct, fair, or proper. The Latin word for left, sinistra, has passed down to English and several other Latin-derived languages in the form of sinister. And with all its connotations of evil, harm, and threat. The French word for right, droit, means straight, upright, and upstanding, while the French word for left, gauche, also means gauche, probably is the right, sorry, Mr. Vaughn. It is gauche. Also means, as in its English usage, awkward and clumsy, hence where I am in this speech, bear with me. To mention just a couple of other examples, the Italian word for left-handed means treacherous or deceitful, and the German word for left means awkward. Hopefully the point is made here that the left is often perceived as being bad. Our sophomore student of the year may be left-handed, but she does things the right way. In a wildly unpredictable year where things were constantly in flux, this young woman was a rock of stability because she always did the right thing. Assignments were not only submitted on time, but completed with attention to the smallest of details. She had insightful points to contribute to class discussion, and more importantly, she always had questions to ask that would fuel the discussion further. She continually made doing the right thing look easy, which isn't easy at all. To consistently do so in a year where nothing seemed right makes her accomplishments that much more impressive. She proved throughout the academic year that us much maligned lefties can, in fact, do it right. That's Mr. Vance. Ladies and gentlemen, our sophomore student of the year, Brooklyn Sedlecki. Someone else can take the microphone. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That concludes our program for today, but a round of applause, please, for all of our winners. And winners, a round of applause for your parents. They have done the job. We've been asked to, if you would, when you exit, to please exit on those doors over there. And thank you so much for coming. Please enjoy the rest of your afternoon.